Alia's helpless gaze, Cihan's jump into the water, and that moment when Deniz disappeared. This was a scene that made us question how much a mother's heart could endure. It wasn't just a child falling into the water. At the same time, it was as if Alia's hopes, fears, and confrontations with the past were also submerged in that dark water. However, with Cihan's unwavering sacrifice, not only Deniz, but also Alia's sense of trust was pulled out of that water. Now, this scene is paving the way for the relationship between Alia and Cihan to deepen even more. Everything happened in an instant. When Alia realized her son was missing, it was as if she stopped time. While her eyes were looking around wildly, the cry of "Deniz" that came out of her lips was not only a child's cry for help, but also the motherly feeling. Cihan's running and jumping into the water without thinking made Alia face the darkest fear in her heart at that moment. This wasn't just a physical rescue. This scene was also the opening of a new door for Alia emotionally. When Cihan first entered Alia's life, they were both distant from each other, drowning in their own pain. However, this incident that happened to Deniz clearly showed how important Cihan is in Alia's world now. Alia's embrace of Cihan through tears was not just a thank you. It was a bond from the heart, an acceptance that she could now trust him. Because a man who saved a woman's most precious possession, her child, without a second thought, had begun to tear down the walls in her heart, one by one. The tiredness on Cihan's face in the new episode trailer and the silence in the hospital scene make viewers think that she may have paid a price during this rescue. Maybe a physical wound, maybe a psychological breakdown. But in any case, this situation will make Alia's feelings for Cihan even more obvious. For her, being afraid and facing the possibility of losing someone is the weakest moment, even for a woman who seems strong like Alia. And this very moment will make Cihan's place in Alia's life certain. Alia's love for her son is undeniable. However, throughout her life, Alia has always lacked a male figure she could trust. Deniz, who grew up without a father, was initially afraid of Cihan's entry into her life. However, now that fear has been replaced by hope, because Cihan has embraced not only Alia, but also Deniz. The softness in his voice when he talks to her, the smile on his face when he plays games, and the risks he takes to protect her make up for Deniz's fatherlessness to some extent. And this means everything to Alia. Cihan's past resentments and emotional loneliness also mirror Alia's heart. They both hid themselves behind walls for years. They were afraid of trusting, loving, and being loved. But now those walls are coming down one by one. Because emotions are sometimes expressed not with words, but with actions. And Cihan's jump into the water was stronger than 1,000 words for Alia. Alia's mother, Fikriye, a new character to the series, seems like she's going to complicate things even more. Fikriye's illness will reopen the family wounds that Alia has tried to suppress in the past. How Cihan will support Alia during this process is eagerly awaited by the audience. Cihan's presence by Alia's side in confronting her past will show that the bond between them is not just a romantic rapprochement, but a real partnership. Among the anticipated scenes in the new episode, there may also be a moment of internal reckoning between Alia and Cihan. Maybe in a hospital room, maybe in the silence of the night. Alia saying, "You don't know how scared I am of losing you," will clearly show the audience that Alia is no longer alone. Cihan's response to these words, "I couldn't live if something happened to you and Deniz," will reveal how intertwined the fates of these two are. Another element that will increase the emotional rhythm of the series is Deniz's reactions after this incident. The most important factor in a child getting over the trauma they experience is the presence of adults who love and protect them. Sihan's efforts to manage this process in the healthiest way for Deniz, together with Alia, will bring them closer together. Deniz calling Sihan Dad in a scene is a candidate to be one of the most impressive moments of the series. Such a scene has not happened yet, but an emotional moment between Sihan and Deniz in the trailer seems to be a preparation for it. Sadakat's attitude will also be important in the upcoming episodes. This character, who has been cold towards Alia until now, changing her attitude under the influence of recent events, may also lead to the strengthening of the theme of female solidarity. Alia, seeing that she is not alone and starting to trust not only Sihan but also other women, will be an important turning point in terms of her character development. Along with all these developments, Uğur's dark plans will continue to increase the tension level of the series. Whether the incident that happened to Deniz was really an accident or part of Uğur's secret plan leaves a question mark in the minds of the viewers. If sabotage is revealed, Sihan's fight against Uğur will increase Alia's trust in Cihan even more. There is now a clear trio at the emotional center of the series: Alia, Cihan, and Deniz. The process of these three characters connecting to each other touches the hearts of the viewers. In the new episode, we will see love, fear, and trust intertwined in the sentences Alia says about Cihan. Because this is no longer just a love story. This is a story of wounded hearts healing together. Finally, we can say that the producers of the series have started to focus more on the inner worlds of the characters in recent weeks. This offers us, the viewers, the opportunity to watch more intense, emotional scenes, past reckonings, and different forms of love. Every moment when Alia's broken heart and Cihan's wounded soul come into contact with each other will continue to be the most precious moments of the series.